Much more from our game at Red Bull Arena. Galaxy lead it 1-0, looking to make it to the Western Conference Final. We go back out to Adrian and John after the break.
Welcome back to the 2011 MLS Cup playoffs presented by Adidas. Smiles for the Galaxy so far as they lead the New York Red Bulls by 1-0. Welcome back to Red Bull Arena. Temperature still about the same. Hasn't really gone up much, let me tell you. Adrian Healy and John Harkes. If you're going to draw up a perfect 45 minutes for a road team in these playoffs, perhaps we just saw it from the Galaxy.
I think it was a good start from the Galaxy. They were making sure that they were very patient, and also their approach to the game was good. I think getting the early goal helped them, certainly, and that always makes things a little bit easier to defend. But here's the goal right here. Again, the accuracy and the pinpoint visionary passing of David Beckham is unreal, but the timing of the run, he beats the offside trap, Magee, and then he just has a good simple strike into the far post. Didn't see much of an effort from Frank Rost at all, the goalkeeper for New York. So that's the opening goal in the 15th minute for Magee. It's against his old club, passions are high, and then from there they just kind of managed the game pretty well.
Do you call it a pitch or do you call it a field? I know what I call it. I call it a pitch. It's been sloppy, hasn't it? It's certainly had an impact, deteriorated perhaps as the first half went on.
Yeah, I think as the game's gone on, it's certainly, you know, gotten a little bit worse, but they've done a good job of doing, you know, preparing it for what they've gone through last year, and so it's going to be slick. I walked the surface today. It's still hard, and it's got that slick surface on top. Now, it's going to play into it, as we see here, playing Young Gunner solely. You get a red card, and then you're a DJ at halftime. I'm not so sure you got your priorities in the right place. But anyway, going back to the surface here, the Red Bulls, they've got to come out, and they've got to really apply a little bit more pressure onto the Galaxy and push things forward, because in that final third, a little bit too methodical, their approach. Too many passing balls, 5 yards away. Get after it and push the game a little bit.
First half statistics brought to you by Volkswagen as the second half gets underway. Yes, that was Jan Gullart solely you saw performing at halftime. The DJ said they actually didn't let him on the pitch, but can New York get it done on the pitch where it counts at this second half? Now going from left to right. First playoff series, as we mentioned, between these two teams for a decade. With the Los Angeles Galaxy prevailing back in 2001 in 3 games, again a series that actually went to sudden death in that third game. This is Dane Richards showing, and just enough on the ball from Josh Saunders to deny Dane Richards. He got in behind the New York, rather the Galaxy defense. What an explosive start to the second half.
Well, explosive it is, and it's Dane Richards that's on the right-hand side, and that's one of the few times that really the distribution was early enough to put him into space. It's a great ball.
This time DeLaGarza is waiting, stooping to head it clear. Red Bull's coming out with real intent. Like Magee, the goal scorer, wrong-footing Dane Richards. Robbie Keane right in the middle of all that slop that you can see. And the sloppy touch enables Juninho to nick it away. Now goes Rogers through the middle. Luke Rogers muscling off Gonzalez. Omar arriving. And still might get there. Thierry Omar! Well, that's got the crowd to their feet.
Well, this is what the Red Bulls should have done in the dressing room with full guns blazing. Here's another searching ball over the top of Rogers. He challenges here. Really a difficult ball he tries to play through for Henry. And then you see the acrobatic attempt from Thierry Henry. But again, already, this is a completely different approach than what we saw from the Red Bulls in the first half. Really slow in the first half, way too methodical. And here in the second half, more direct, some probing balls over the top, trying to split and penetrate that back line of the Galaxy. And it's really created some issues here for LA. But look at this.
This is Donovan surging through the center. All sorts of space for Franklin. And he really didn't utilize that space. That was a golden opportunity for the Galaxy to strike.
Well, it was a golden opportunity for really Landon Donovan. I think the decision he made to give the ball out wide was a poor one. He's going right to the top of the 18, the heart of the defense. He's already done the hard work and penetrated through that midfield. go and finish it off and have a strike yourself on goal. And that maybe comes with Landon not playing, you know, back-to-back games when he's been injured and he's a little bit off of rhythm. So this game really opening up right now, Adrian. Sorry, the game's really opening up already in the second half we're seeing. The tactical approach is very important. I'm sure they all watched the game last night. Real Salt Lake 3-0 over Seattle. So how do you go and approach this? Do you take your time? Do you build it up? Or do you go strike right at the heart of the defense? It seems like the Red Bulls are going for that second approach.
Well, that's an awful ball from Sean Franklin. Back to Dane Ricketts, twisting. Ricketts! Oh, what a save! What a save from Saunders, who ends up in the back of the net. The ball doesn't, and Limper is wondering how it stayed out. Magnificent goalkeeping. It's a magnificent start to the second half, and the Red Bulls are firing.
Well, this is more like it. This is what a playoff round is all about between LA and New York. Dane Ricketts does all the fancy footwork. There's a shot from Limper. Unbelievable quick reaction there from Josh Saunders. He sees the ball over, and Luke Rogers should be booked for that. Shoving the goalkeeper into the goal. That's what Josh Saunders was upset about. That off-the-ball, passive-aggressive nature from Luke Rogers. We saw it from Henry, Sporting Kansas City, and we're seeing it again here off the ball. Keep an eye on this second half, folks. It's going to get nasty.
Here comes Saunders. That was a more comfortable take for him, under no duress. Came a long way to get it, and that stems the tide, at least for now.
Quick reactions here in the box, and it had to be. There's a save from Saunders. A very good one. Either that, or it was Joe Limper on the score sheet and equalizing this game.
Well, you wonder what Hans Bakker must have said to the Red Bulls at halftime. The manager's words perhaps still ringing in their ears as Alex Proust gives the Galaxy a free kick here. Here is Bakker, the 59-year-old Swede, his second year in charge, former assistant to Sven-Göran Eriksson at Manchester City, and also with the Mexican national team. Rost trying to get his defensive pieces in place.
We'll see Beckham here lining up. Keep an eye on Sean Franklin, the number 5, maybe coming late from the back, but also Omar Gonzalez has pushed forward here, one of the targets for a set piece. Will Beckham strike from this distance? We've seen him do it many times.
Only 2 goals this year for Beckham, but 15 assists, and he looks to tee up Omar Gonzalez. Keel, furiously backpedaling, was there to meet it.
Well, for the Red Bulls, trying to defend set pieces with Beckham when he's on it is very difficult. They need more communication in the back there as it comes from Frank Rost, the goalkeeper.
Todd Donovan looks to be winding up for a big throw. Gonzalez with the flick on. Keane! They pulled out of the shot. Tees up Beckham instead.
Well, who was there? Timo Tainio, the number 2 from the Red Bulls, getting the block on that strike. And that's a good set piece. We talk about set pieces through Omar Gonzalez. The height, good strength, and the flick on there at the near post created that opportunity.
Still feeling that one as well, isn't he, Tainio? That will leave a mark. And a mark left on Landon Donovan here. He's going to provide the Galaxy with another free kick. Landon Donovan, 17 goals in 25 games all-time in the MLS postseason. He's the leading scorer ever in the history of the MLS postseason. Now more cause for concern for the New York defence. You mentioned it, John, and so did Alexi at halftime. They have been susceptible, haven't they, from set pieces. It's been a real Achilles heel for them this year, defensively.
That's just a lack of discipline and organization. They don't mark up man-to-man.
Beckham swinging it deep. Frank Rost deciding to intervene.
Well, for the Red Bulls, they're very lucky that he was there to intervene and just get a hand on that, because Landon Donovan had pushed away from Marquez and lost his marker. He was wide open on the back post. That ball would have fell to Donovan, no problem. We know what he can do when he's in that area inside the 6. He'll finish for sure.
David Beckham with the likes of Gonzalez, Barrett, Donovan and Magee to try and connect with from the corner. But it's Henry who was there to meet him. leave the throw this time. The Dunivant. Gonzalez, the target. Rost just about able to get it away. The New York Red Bulls, the second top scorers in the MLS regular season. They scored 50 times in their 34 regular season games. Only the Seattle Sounders scored more. They do come in with the worst defensive record of any of the 10 playoff teams, who are now 8. The Red Bulls beating Dallas on Wednesday. Colorado taking care of Columbus on Thursday. Real disparity between these two teams and their history as well in the MLS postseason. The Galaxy, as Tim Ream is forced to take command. Galaxy, as I was saying, have been to 6 MLS Cup finals and won 2. The Red Bulls have yet to win a major trophy in their 16-year history. It's Joel Limper trying to beat Gonzalez. Jurgen Klinsmann may have to hurry if he wants to call upon Omar Gonzalez. He started to suggest that he would look Mexico's way if one call-up came from the United States. Donovan. Oh, Donovan is through. The slip from Tim Ream. Landon Donovan! And Frank Rost to the rescue. Maybe keeping the Red Bulls alive in this series. Donovan was clean through. Eerily reminiscent of one of the goals we saw in the Chelsea-Arsenal game yesterday.
I was just going to mention that. John Terry slipping as well.
Not the same finish, though, was it?
No, it was a great opportunity for Landon Donovan, and he struck it well. He really did, but Frank Rost makes an excellent save. Really pulling on his experience here in the one-on-one. Here's the hopeful ball played over the top. There's the slip from Ream, and look at this. The volley, quick reaction save, hits down with the low right hand.
Donovan without a goal since September the 7th. 12 goals in the MLS regular season for him, though. He was the 5th leading scorer in the league.
I just got a feeling the longer this game goes on, the more Landon Donovan you're going to see.
Here's Ricketts, starting to become more of a factor too. Mendes measuring his cross towards Henry, and the follow-up shot on the volley. Stinging effort from Roy Miller. 2 years with the Red Bulls, the left-back.
Roy Miller, Costa Rican international, comes forward quite well, Adrian. Almost like a late, very late runner, and sometimes does very well to get around the back with players. He's looking to link up with Joel Limper on that left-hand side and get his Red Bulls team back into this game and try to equalize.
Red Bulls trying to break down this Galaxy defense, which was the best defense in the league. In fact, the 3rd best defensive record ever put together in a single MLS season. The Galaxy conceded just 28 goals. It was 8 fewer than their nearest rivals in that department. Here's Stephen Keel. Juninho.
I think Timo Juninho, number 2, is looking for more of Marquez, and number 4, Mexican international, movement off the ball in the midfield. Is just not getting it from him right now.
Sharp touch from Thierry Henry. Rogers on to Ricketts. This diminutive strike force for the Red Bulls. Ricketts with an angled run, but DeLaGarza had his angles all worked out.
For me, the defensive MVP has to be DeLaGarza so far in this game on both ends. He's just been unreal. Reading the play, he knows where the danger's coming, and he gets into that position and he covers that. Good speed as well to get there. Does very well. Did it in the first half 3 times, and there he is again.
Marquez. Magee, the goal scorer, in place for the clearance. Marquez again, a chance to settle. Good-looking service. Limpair had it taken away from him right at the last. And what an outlet pass that is from Donovan, has Robbie Keane in hold-up mode. Keane, signed in late August, languishing on the Spurs bench at the time. Still only 31, the Irishman. What a goals left in him. What a goals left in Thierry Henry. At the age of 34. Of course, could do with one around about now. As Marquez allowed to shoot. And the Galaxy will be happy to let him shoot from that distance.
Oh, that's what I said in the first half, too. I think it's an average strike from an international player of his pedigree. And you're looking for more from a player like that. Designated player, he's got to contribute more through that midfield for the Red Bulls.
ESPN's coverage of the 2011 MLS Cup playoffs, presented by Adidas and in part by Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence, and also Volkswagen, the all-new Volkswagen Passat. That's Das Auto. The remnants of the big northeastern snowstorm still scattered around the outskirts of the pitch. Again, the grounds crew doing a remarkable job just to get this surface playable. 24 hours ago, John, we were in the thick of the storm.
They did a very good job of cleaning this off and getting the tarp down and everything. We do see parts of the field now, you know, tearing up a little bit, but we did mention about whether it's the studs or the molded that they're using out in the field, the slick conditions. And this is what it's all about. Who has the character to stand up and make a difference?
Scampering away goes Luke Rogers. Hasn't been able to make an impact yet in this game. Rogers, though, trying to connect with Limpair. Wears you down, doesn't he, Luke Rogers? 9 goals, 3 assists for him in the regular season.
Good vision there from Landon Donovan. Very good ball.
Chad Barrett. Been the figurehead of the Galaxy attack for the past month, Barrett, but more of a supporting role today. Beckham. Again, not even hesitating. 50 yards right on the money for Robbie Keane, who couldn't cash in.
I actually thought that Robbie Keane, I was a bit surprised he tried to take that down. He looked like he was going to hit it one touch. Oh, that's a bad foul. David Beckham had beaten him. He he kind of did that little bit of the delay, like he was going to strike the ball. Timo Tanio comes in, a late challenge. Here it is. Just a little bit of deception, but he reaches in and just takes him down. His feet weren't set to move with him and defend properly.
Only one player, Brad Davis of the Houston Dynamo, set up more goals for others this season than David Beckham.
What a great season Davis is having for Houston. They're doing very well as they go into this Philadelphia game today.
Lofted delivery. Nice one as well for Keane. Beckham. Stood on the ball, and Limpair able to help himself. Henry was storming forward and wanted the ball played.
Yeah, it was very important, the defending that Todd Dunivant did there, to slow the play down a little bit and allow players to get back behind the ball.
Marquez, Richards making his run. And here's Carlos Mendes. Up goes Henry. A little nick on the ball, but all tidied up with a minimum of fuss by Donovan. He's counting him off. I don't know what that signifies, John. Whatever there were 9 of them.
He's saying that the goalkeeper's holding the ball too long. He's not releasing. He's trying to slow the game down, take the sting out of the game.
A bit of timekeeping by Monsieur Henry. Here's Luke Rogers. Luke, see the crowd, but it's been his afternoon so far, and that man, Omar Gonzalez, is primarily responsible for that. He's been all over Rodgers.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to get around, you know, the size of Omar Gonzalez, the physical nature, the awareness. He just shields his ball. Luke Rodgers is always going to be that workhorse, digging in. It's not going to happen like that.
Beckham, as far as Henry, over his head. This time does Rodgers have the inside step? Rodgers can't generate enough punch on the shot.
Well, you just love to see that awareness from Thierry Henry without even any hesitation at all. Just off the chest, flick that ball over the air into the space for Rodgers to run onto. That's the part of the game that he loves to work with up front. I still think as the game goes on higher, he needs to, I mean, on this game in the second half, he needs to be higher up the field. Really stretch and push out to the last defender.
Now Rodgers, limping. Oh, he was trying to tee up Juninho.
One too many, right? One too many passes. Trying to make it perfect.
Galaxy on the counter-attack. Who's a real threat in this sort of scenario. Talked about Brad Davis. Remember, you can see his team, the Houston Dynamo, next as our coverage of the MLS Cup playoffs continue. It's Houston against Philadelphia. As soon as this game is done, we'll take you to PPL Park, the MLS Cup playoffs presented by Adidas. ESPN2 and ESPN3.com. Here's Robbie Keane for the Galaxy. Barrett was well marshaled by Tim Ream. Excellent bit of defensive work. The man who's on Arsenal's radar screen, Tim Ream. Juninho. Limper. Rodgers. It's a bullet of a cross. Rodgers had to go low to meet it. Wasn't quite sure the ball was heading.
The game right now, Adrian, you know, 20 minutes gone in the second half, and it's completely opened up. Not a lot of play through the midfield. It's kind of end-to-end. More space. Maybe heavy legs because of the conditions out there. You see a guy like Landon Donovan on the right side of midfield really getting involved more. Look at the movement here. Great run off the ball.
Frank Rost, and all his 20-plus years of experience there to come out to the edge of his area, just calmly chested away from Robbie Keane. Looks like he was a sweeper there, John.
He did really well to just diffuse that situation so calmly.
Mendes. Rafa Marquez, acts as a conduit. Limper as an engine. LA have defended ferociously in this second half. And Beckham has played his part too. So I think we're about to see our first change of the game. It's going to come from the Galaxy with Adam Cristman about to enter the fray. The pretty much a straight swap position. He wanted Cristman replacing Chad Barrett. Cristman, former DC United, Kansas City and New England Revolution player. Limper, Marquez. Disappointing. Henry was available. Marquez couldn't connect. Cristman getting involved for the first time. Midway through the second half here at Red Bull Arena, the Galaxy trying to protect a lead to take home with them for this Western Conference semi-final second leg. The second leg will be on Thursday night. You can see it with us on ESPN. Remember the final at the home of the Galaxy on November the 20th. The available substitutes for the Red Bulls and Hans Backer. Actually, only 5 players on the bench today. One of them you're looking at, Juan Agudelo. Could this be tailor-made for Agudelo to come on?
You look at that, Dax McCarty picked up that ankle injury in the last match against the FC Dallas, his old club, where they won 2-0. And he's available. Like, no defenders on the bench at all that are healthy, I guess, to come in. But Juan Agudelo is a player I still think that should be on the field. You know, a player that's going to create for you. Another attacking threat.
Handbacker does things his own way, doesn't he? Most coaches would fill up that bench. He could have put more players on there. Decided to just go with the 5, as he did in Dallas on Wednesday night. The side trying to respond here. This is Henry. Well, that time Marquez did find him, and Henry's touch deserted him. To lose track of the flight of the ball, perhaps. Let's take a look at our All-State good hands save of the game. And it's Josh Saunders who's produced it, John.
Yeah, that was the first one right there. You see that on Dane Richards. Here's the second one off of Joel Lambert. Quick reactions. He's done very well here, coming in for Donovan Ricketts. Bruce Arena having 2 great goalkeepers to choose from at this point. Josh Saunders, definitely not.
Yeah, the 2 leading goalkeepers statistically in the league this year, both belonging to the Galaxy.
I was just going to say, just not disappointing at all. He's come up very big today, Josh Saunders. Done very well.
Mendes, longest serving player with New York, but he's given that away. Mendes actually dates back to the old Metro Stars days, first signed in 2005. Local boy as well from Long Island. Just down the road from Bruce Arena, actually. As Todd Dunivant is down feeling the pain. Donovan has been rock steady all season long, ever present for the Galaxy. 30 years old, the left back, since he's been involved.
He's done very well. You know, you're always looking for players to be solid and be consistent. Here, there, you see Dane Richards applying the pressure from behind, just steps on the outside of Todd Donovan on his right foot, side of his ankle.
Donovan will try and shake this off as Beckham shapes to take the free kick. In it comes. Gonzalez was in the mix. Directed on target. Beckham again, spraying it wide where Juninho is waiting. LA looking to stay on the front foot here with Donovan wheeling around. Rodgers against his old verbal foe there in Landon Donovan. Cristman. Miller's clearance. Right into the stride of Rodgers, who goes down. Franklin is the player who tripped him, but no decision there from Alex Bruce. He must have ruled that inadvertent contact. Franklin cutting in front of Rodgers, and Rodgers is going to have to find a way to keep a lid on his feelings. Hands back up with a quizzical look on his face. Let's look at it again.
We see here he just tries to cross over, and you wonder how much contact was actually made. Sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of a flick or a touch. It's tough to see from that angle, but obviously Alex Bruce is closer to the action than us, and he was saying play on.
It's a big decision, wasn't it? Because Rodgers was on his way. There was a 2-on-3 situation there which could have unfolded for the Red Bulls. And Marquez, that engine to work, trying to get forward to bolster the attack. DeLaGarza with a knock, which he's trying to recover from.
That was a dangerous knock, actually. Marquez couldn't get to the ball. It looked like his boot caught the top of DeLaGarza there after the play.
Well, still DeLaGarza feeling a little groggy.
Well, there's a challenge right there. See how he comes across there, and he just catches him with a knee and reaching over the top of him, caught the DeLaGarza. Good defending challenge again. There it is right there. Things that you got to always keep an eye on. Landon Donovan clearing this ball out just to make sure he's okay.
ESPN2's coverage of the Barclays Premier League continues Saturday. Surprising Newcastle United taking on United States International Tim Howard and Everton. Barclays Premier League presented by FIFA Soccer 12 on ESPN2 and ESPN3. Saturday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. A little bit of a later start because of the time change in the UK. I think Thierry Henry must have allowed himself a smile as wide as the GW Bridge watching this week's EPL action. John, I'm sure he was up early to see Arsenal beat Chelsea 5-3.
Yeah, plenty of goals. We're seeing that quite a bit, actually, in the Premier League. And you remember Man City over Man United, 6-1, and then also the thrashing the 8, was it 8-2, 8-1?
Yep, 8-2.
So many high-scoring goals, games that you're seeing in the Premier League right now.
The year of missing defences, it seems to be, so far.
Swiss cheese, son, Swiss cheese. Lots of holes.
Well, DeLaGarza is back into the action. And greeted by a rousing New Jersey welcome back to the game. The crowd have really got into it in the second half, responding to the Red Bulls rally. After a fairly sleepy first half display by the home team and by the crowd. Down the line, it's a fine ball for Robbie Keane. Keane only has Cristman in front of him. Keane is trying to pick out Beckham instead. Falls for Juninho, he can hit them from distance. Keane. And now Magee. Same side, same sort of angle from which he beat Frank Rost in the first half. Not this time, though.
Well, the thing is, too, though, I always wanted to keep an eye on Robbie Keane coming off of that adductor injury. It was a surprise start for tonight, and his movements throughout the game have been very good. Block here, Keel, off of Juninho, and then the return there. Just the ball played in behind for Magee. Number 18 strikes it across the goal mouth. Did not threaten. Frank Ross seemed to have that covered, no problem.
And Magee has been one of the real beneficiaries of Keane's arrival. 5 goals in his last 8 games for the Galaxy. And good understanding. Seem to strike up with Robbie Keane immediately.
Oh, right away, you got better players on the field. They're going to see you, more awareness, quicker balls that get played into space or to feet, the decision making. And it makes it that much easier to be successful.
Marquez, Omar waiting, but so too Josh Saunders. Comfortable take for him. Again, the timekeeping there. Goalkeepers are supposed to have 6 seconds, aren't they?
Yeah, he keeps counting 7, 8, 9 seconds.
Very rarely see that enforced, though. Juninho, Limpere. Red Bulls need to get him going again. It's not the sort of cross that he was looking for.
Well, for the first 5 minutes of the second half, the Red Bulls came out and they were really dominating. They were threatening through the middle of the pitch with longer balls over the top. And now it's just been these hopeful late balls, Adrian, played into the 18. Saunders has had no problem coming and getting these lofty, searching balls and really not connecting for the Red Bulls at all here in the final third.
Red Bulls haven't actually won a home playoff game since October of 2005 when they beat the New England Revolution here by a 0-0. And we take a draw, in all likelihood right now, to take out west with them. Thierry Henry. Mendes. 5 in the middle. Ricketts had it go under his foot. Marquez is waiting. Early strike once more, John.
It was a great set piece. It was played by Beckham there. It was a delayed second ball over the top. And Magee beat the offside trap, and he's happy to score, not only in the playoffs, but against his old club. It always is a big deal for players when they go back. So many emotions and memories, and also competing against their old colleagues and players that they shared locker rooms with. So for him to score that in the opening playoff game here on the road for the Galaxy, very excited.
And the Red Bulls aren't going to be happy with the way that goal was conceded either, John.
No, it was sloppy. Again, the awareness in which you've talked about, Adrian. We've hit it in the first half, and each time we come and talk about the Red Bulls, their set-piece defending is awful. Corner kicks, they've given up so many goals this year. And on set pieces, too, they just don't mark. The discipline is missing.
Juninho. Juninho again. No nonsense clearance from Gonzalez. Now later tonight, the wildcard winner and, let's not forget, defending MLS Cup champions, the Colorado Rapids, host the top team in the East, the Sporting Kansas City. game is 7:30 p.m. tonight over on Fox Soccer Channel. Colorado Sporting KC. The last this conference semi-final series to get underway. We've got Houston against Philadelphia just a matter of minutes away from starting. Stone and Taylor Dwellman standing by right here on ESPN down in PPL Park as Mike Magee, the game's only goal scorer still, finds Robbie Keane. Cristman wants it. Keane is keeping it for now. He showed too much to Keel. Keel robbing Keane. Can the Red Bulls reawaken here and produce a 10-minute onslaught on the Galaxy goal? Still yet to make a switch, and I think one is about to take place. We're going to see Mehdi Bellucci come on. He had a great impact, didn't he, down in Dallas in that wild card when he's replacing Luke Rogers. Rogers unable to make much headway in this one against that Gonzalez and DeLaGarza combination.
Well, Luke Rogers certainly won't be happy coming off the field, but at the same time, Mehdi Bellucci coming off the bench against Dallas, providing that great early service into the box for Joel Limper to get the goal, the first goal against Dallas, and knock them out.
That means Dane Richards can now move up front, which he's done. He's on the ball here. Jamaican speedster.
I spoke to Dane Richards, sorry Adrian, in the parking lot. He was just saying that he actually likes playing up front. He has more freedom to kind of find the game in behind the space. When he's on the right, he said he has to worry about so much defending too and getting back.
He did very well there, didn't he? In the absence of Luke Rogers in his last 2 regular season games. Coming in for Thierry Henry in one of them. Here's Bellucci. Richards onto Limper. Beckham was waiting. Easy enough clearance. Former England captain. Here comes the cross. Bellucci with an extra incentive for Johnny. Left the Colorado Rapids, Mehdi Bellucci, September of last year, just before they started that amazing postseason run that landed the MLS Cup. Came here.
Well, you speak about Colorado and what they did last season. You know, Real Salt Lake did the year before that. And just kind of flying under the radar, coming into the playoffs as a lower seed team and surprising many. So it's anyone's game. And I think the teams know that as they go into the postseason playoffs in Major League Soccer. You got to lift your game and get after it. It's all there for the taking.
Galaxy, by the way, haven't lost an opening playoff series in an MLS postseason since 2003. And that was a memorable series against San Jose. 4 goals down in that series at one point, San Jose, before LA came back to win. Be a switch here involving Robbie Keane.
I was just going to say, I wonder how long he can last. He hasn't trained a lot. He's been injured. The adductor muscle has kept him out of play. He's missed a lot of games, but he really gave it all he had today. He did very well. And now they'll just drop back into possibly a tactical 4-5-1 with leaving Adam Cristman, the number 17, came on as a sub here in the second half, just as that lone striker up front. Either that, or they might push Landon Donovan up front. Mike Magee will drop the left side of midfield, Birchall on the right.
Robbie Keane with those Irish playoffs as well. Very near horizon for him. 2 games with Estonia. He'll leave for those immediately after this second leg. Tim Ream. Ream again. Ricketts. Bellucci. Tinio picking up the pieces. Marquez. Until a little frantic, a little congested. will suit LA, it won't suit the Red Bulls, who need some space. Little offered here by Miller. Juninho, or rather Limper, was caught. Now a chance to go to work on a free kick.
Well, this is a good opportunity here for the Red Bulls to get back into the game. Birchall didn't see the player coming, Limper, who he took down. Came on his blind side as he went to clear that ball. You know, you talked about the players that were available to come off the bench, and Juan Agudelo is one of those players, and when he has come off the bench, he's scored 4 goals. I mean, this is a player that I'm thinking, why are they punishing him? This is a young kid. I mean, of course you want to groom him, but hey, you got knocked out of the playoff race last year from San Jose, and you didn't play him much there, and now you're not playing him again this year, and you've got potential danger of getting knocked out again. Why don't they use Agudelo? He's a talented, unique individual, a young kid.
Hans Bakker has been quite forthright, hasn't he, in, as he refers to it, protecting Agudelo this season. I'm not sure what you make of that. Well, I think you've told us what you make of it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Just let my emotions get the better of me there, sorry.
There he is. It was this time last year when he really sprang to prominence, didn't he? Mr. October last year. Not only for the Red Bulls, but also for the US national team. That amazing start he made. But scant action for him, particularly over the last couple of months of the season. Here's Rafa Marquez. He's been a little off-kilter all day from this sort of range, but can he produce some Mexican magic here? Not like that. Right into the wall. It's Juninho. Measured towards Keel. Once again, this Galaxy defense responding. Frank Rost has come a long way for this. Going to have to be careful. Under challenge from Landon Donovan. Well, that was bizarre, to say the least. Donovan's hooked effort actually found Beckham offside, but Rost will be breathing a bit of a sigh of relief there, I think.
Now you can see the trouble coming here as it bounces in between. It's that indecisive area. You know, if Landon Donovan just has a bit more patience on the ball, keeps that possession, can open up and find 1 more, 2 more. Over the top, who was offside.
Roy Miller. Attempting to keep the Red Bulls on the front foot here. Goes back to Ream. Everyone back for the Galaxy. What a result this would be for them, even as the top seeds to come here. Take a lead back to Los Angeles with them. And let's not forget, LA are undefeated at the Home Depot Center all year long. That'll be the measure of the task that will face the Red Bulls, unless they can come up with an equalizer here. Galaxy, the top seeds. Red Bulls, the 10th seeds, the lowest seed in this MLS postseason. Don't forget Philadelphia against Houston coming up as soon as we're done here. Take you to PPL Park, the MLS Cup playoffs presented by Adidas on ESPN2 and ESPN3.com. Union against the Dynamo. Now Ricketts. Oh, it's set up for him so invitingly. One of the rare missteps all afternoon long from Omar Gonzalez. His headed clearance fell right to Ricketts, who couldn't take advantage. It is, though, a corner for the Red Bulls. They're 6th of the game.
And now everybody's on their feet in Red Bull Arena, hoping for this chance to find the back of the net. Corner here, Medi Bellucci.
Henry trying to shrug off Donovan there. And still trying. Here comes the corner. The header! Just too high. It was Carlos Mendes. It was so close.
Carlos Mendes doing a very good job positionally just to get that space. He's challenged there by Juninho. Good header of the ball, Mendes. Directs it towards goal. Just can't keep it on the frame. You see the organization of the LA Galaxy, though, this second half. Didn't drop into a shell by any means, but certainly organized. And that comes the benefit of having a back four together, you know, a high percentage of the season. They've played a few injuries here and there, but certainly this back four has been strong throughout, and that's why the Galaxy are #1 and finished the Supporter Shield's winner of the year again.
Yeah, they've got 17 clean sheets, which actually tied a league record set a long time ago by Kansas City, who did go on to win the MLS Cup that season, the 2000 season. They found a way to win ugly at times, haven't they, LA? In one-goal games, they have a quite remarkable 12-1 record. More of the same this afternoon, it appears, unless there's some late answer here from Hans Backer's side. He came out at the start of the second half, really clicking and firing on all cylinders, John. Didn't get that equaliser. Now hoping for late heroics. Henry's flick. Limper was waiting. Henry underneath it. Bellucci. Oh, it's pinball in there. Bellucci again on the turn. Nice delivery, but just too high. Everyone had come near post. The ball went far. 4 minutes of stoppage time. So still there is time available for New York. Mendes waiting. Magee hooking it clear, running as far as Stephen Keel. Limper avoiding Magee and pushing on past Juninho. Joel Limper. Marquez! Great save! Omar! Well, Marquez got it right that time, but so too did Josh Saunders. It's desperation time for the Red Bulls. Bellucci. Henry's touch. A little over elaborate. Left Miller on the ground. Henry trying to make amends and has done so. He's won it back. Great work from Henry. Driving forward. He's going to get the free kick, but it's back behind. Chris Birchall asking questions.
Well, a lot of pressure here from the Red Bulls. Very late surge. The Galaxy, Josh Saunders having a... There he is, organizing, saying, I can't hear. So communication, awareness, very important, especially in the set piece, trying to defend here. Henry trying to get the emotions of the players and also the crowd into this game.
Will it be a grandstand finish? Juninho's delivery. Once again, the Galaxy defense just will not spring a leak. And in the hustle and bustle to try and win the ball back, Juninho committed the foul.
Well, here again is all that work rate from Joel Limper, and Marquez is the benefactor here. Falls to him, bears the volley, keeps it low. It skips on the wet surface here in Red Bull Arena, and Josh Saunders certainly up to the challenge. He's made some terrific, excellent saves here throughout this day. I talked about AJ DeLaGarza and his defensive play. Well, certainly Josh Saunders has to be mentioned here.
And he's really been the #2 over the recent years, hasn't he, to Donovan Ricketts. Is he going to be called into action once more? Marquez with the flick on. No mistake from Franklin, but the Red Bulls have a free kick. Marquez down, holding his head. The Galaxy don't like it. But this could be the last chance saloon for the Red Bulls, certainly in terms of this first leg.
Well, Stephen Keel's the one who laid this on. Didn't see much of a foul there. I saw AJ DeLaGarza go up for it. Maybe a bit of a flick as Marquez flicked it over. Alex Bruce, referee, giving an opportunity, last gasp opportunity here, calling the foul.
It's now or never.
It's a great song.
It's Thierry Henry who's trying to lead the French resistance here. Henry over the wall, and also over the bar, and with it might go the Red Bulls' last chance.
Well, here Henry just leaning back, and he way off target here. Not enough whip or bend on the ball.
It looks as though the Red Bulls are going to have to go to Southern California and do what they did just over a year ago, let's not forget, and win there, and win by 2-0, because they have lost here. It's a fantastic trip east for Bruce Arena, who shakes hands with Hans Backer. They have the marker champions, and there's a real flare-up after the final whistle has gone. Juninho seemed to be in the thick of it. I think Stephen Keel is the player down on the ground for the Red Bulls. Wow. Some real nastiness.
Well, we know the verbal attack has been coming throughout this game, and players have been pushing and shoving. The referee's trying to be involved here and break it up. That's part of the playoffs. The chaos starts. Players are angry, but you did say Juninho was involved in the thick of things in the beginning.
Well, they seem to have...
Dave Sarakin's with him right now, trying to calm him down, break him away.
Seem to have managed to put a lid on things. It suggests that there are still lots to look forward to in this tie. The second leg is really going to be unmissable, isn't it, at the Home Depot Center?
Well, here's the middle of the field. Marquez throws the ball here, and it hits a player. Then Cristman is pushing and shoving. Marquez throwing some fists there. Keel got hit. Marquez fell down. I think maybe a fly went into his eye.
Yeah, Rafa Marquez was the instigator there. I'm not sure if there's going to be some recrimination to come. Some potential possibilities of that. Let's have a look at the conference semi-final brackets after this. LA leading by 1-0, RSL leading by 3-0. Still 2 conference semi-finals to come. Houston against Philadelphia coming up next. And they're Sporting Kansas City in Colorado. Once again, hope you enjoyed our coverage here from Red Bull Arena. For John Harks, I'm Adrian Healy. Once again, our final score, the Galaxy 1, the Red Bulls 0. You're watching ESPN.